paying off the mortgage early. Can we even do that? Welcome to the next episode of Pajama Drama. Welcome back. Kate, why is this series called Pajama Drama? The whole reason this was created was because in the mornings, I get up really early before I have to go to my 9 to 5. And this is when I let all the creative thoughts start to bubble up for the channel while I'm sitting in my pajamas, drinking my coffee, and I have all these fresh ideas first thing in the morning. And then, bam! I am rudely interrupted by having to go to work. Then I have to put my thoughts aside, write notes down furiously, trying to remember what was I thinking about so I can talk to you guys about this later. Today we're talking about how to pay your mortgage off early. I'm gonna get right into the juice, the 3 ways that I'm gonna share today on how to pay your mortgage off early. If you're just here for the tips, take them and scram. But if you wanna hear some extended thoughts on when this might be the best plan of attack and when it might not be, stay till the end. As you guys know, I am brand new to this. This is my first year ever owning a home. So I'm gonna share with you one method I don't plan on using, one method I am using, and one method that I might use should the opportunity arise. The first method you can use to pay off your mortgage early is BiWeekly Payments. The whole idea behind this is there are 52 weeks in a year. If you do bi-weekly payments, you will end up making 26 half payments, which will equal 13 full payments instead of the 12 you would if you did it monthly. This will mean you will be making an extra full mortgage payment every single year and therefore shaving off some time spent paying off your mortgage. While I see how this mathematically is effective, this is not the method I am choosing to use. Instead, I'm going to do the next one that I'm going to share with you. The method that I am currently using is making an additional principal payment each month when I pay my mortgage. So I pay my mortgage and then I add an additional amount every single month to work toward paying off my mortgage early. Right now, I'm currently paying an additional $100 per month toward my mortgage. If you want to know the impact that this will have over the length of your loan, there are some awesome calculators online. My favorite one is Calculatornet. When I punched in my numbers, my loan amount, my interest rate, and the calculation if I pay an additional $100 each month, the end result would be I will shave off 3 years and 6 months off the length of my loan. I will be able to pay off my mortgage 3 years and 6 months early and save over $21,000. This got me thinking, okay, so if I'm doing currently $100, what would happen if I could scrounge up $200? I popped those numbers into the calculator and this is what I found. If I pay an additional $200 a month on top of my regular payment, $200 toward the principal, that will reduce the length of my time paying off this debt by 6 years and 4 months. In the end, I would save close to $38,000. And then just for giggles, I said, what if I could punch in $500? Is there even a way I could save $500 each month? And if so, what would that look like? If I were able to scrounge up $500 a month and put that toward my principal each month, that would take off a whopping 11 years, 11 months, almost 12 years off the length of my loan and save me almost $70,000. So obviously the 500 is a stretch, but just think about what that $100 can do. Think about what you spend $100 on per month. If you didn't spend it on that and you put it toward the mortgage, to me that is worth it. The third way is a one-time lump sum payment toward your principal. Obviously, you do the math on that. You will also see that that is a way to get your mortgage paid off a little sooner. If you get a stimulus check, if you get your tax refund back, if some kind of money comes into your life by chance, by luck, for any reason, you could consider taking that amount that you didn't necessarily need, you weren't depending on it. It's money that is in addition to what you already need to pay your bills and reach your financial goals. This could be an option to put it toward your mortgage and pay off your mortgage sooner. Those are the top 3 ways that I wanted to share with you that I think are very reasonable and very realistic to work towards to pay off your mortgage early. The other way that I'm not going to talk about much, but I just want to mention it because I know when we talk about this topic, many people are going to bring it up, and that is to refinance your loan to a lower rate. You would get a brand new loan that reduces the interest and replaces your old loan. I was very aware of this going into purchasing the home. I wanted to make sure I got an interest rate that I was comfortable with, so hopefully I don't have to deal with a refinance down the road. If you're interested in what my interest rate currently is, it's 3.25, which I think is pretty decent. I know people that got it down into the 2s recently. Maybe down the road this might be something I would consider, but as of right now, I'm not gonna look into that option at this time. But if you have a higher interest rate, that is something to consider. I just know that when I went into buying the house, I wanted a low rate, and based on the loan that I got, that was the lowest I could get based on my credit score, which was very good, and just what was going on in the market at the time. I literally bought the house in June 2020. Let's now talk about if trying to pay off your home loan is the path that would be in your best interest right now. Now, remember, I'm never gonna tell you what you should or should not do on this channel. Personal finance, as they all say, is personal for a reason. So you have to do what works for your family. But I'm gonna share a couple thoughts on my personal situation that could help maybe illustrate why this is something I'm starting to work toward, and reasons why, if my situation were a little different, why this might not be the most appropriate at this time for me. Okay, so for my personal situation, I have no other debt other than the home. I don't have any credit card debt that I don't pay off every month. I don't have any outstanding student loans. I paid all of those off. I don't have a car payment because I paid off my car in full. So if I had some consumer debt or any other debt besides the home, I would probably prioritize paying that off first. The second thing is I scrutinized over my faux budget before buying this home to make sure I could afford it. If you want to see that video, I'm actually going to leave you a playlist down below in the description of everything related to buying the house that I think will be helpful for you if you're interested in this topic, including 7 things I wasn't expecting when I bought a house. So if you're a first-time home buyer, please check that out because I think it will give you some insight. The other thing to consider before trying to pay off your home early is to make sure you have an emergency fund in place. I currently do have an emergency fund in place that I've been working toward. If I didn't have an emergency fund, I would be bulking up that baby to make sure that I have at least 3 to 6 months, if not closer to 12, to make sure should anything happen, you've got a buffer. The other thing is not to forget about retirement. I'm currently putting about 15 to 20% toward retirement. I think it's probably around 17%. I did the math a few weeks ago, and so that's where I fall, between 15 and 20. So if I weren't investing in my retirement, I would also consider that before attacking the house, me personally. So now that I have no other debt besides the home, I have an emergency fund in place, I have my retirement funds in progress. The last thing for me is the home. This is something I think about a lot. If you saw my videos on when I was paying off the car, I was in extreme hustle mode. And I feel like I'm always in extreme hustle mode, you guys. And sometimes it can be exhausting. We've talked about this before on the channel. But when I'm thinking about trying to pay off the home early, like I told you, I've been doing $100 per month, which I think is great. That's telling me right here in my notes that I'll pay off the home at least 3 years early. But in my mind, it's not enough. I need to do it sooner than that. Let's talk about my age for a second. When I bought the house, I was 41 and I got a 30-year loan. So if I actually take 30 years to pay this off, 51, 61, 71. I will not pay off this house until I'm 71. And at face value, that number feels unacceptable to me. I want to do it sooner. I want to attack this. I also want to spend money on things that bring me great value. For those of you that were wondering, I did buy my computer. I got an Apple computer and I am thrilled. It was totally worth the investment for my business, for my life, but mostly for my business. This has been a game changer almost instantaneously, and I'm super happy with that purchase. That being said, I am very calculated. I am very intentional when buying anything that is remotely pricey or just really anything that I'm bringing into my home. Does it bring me value? Is it worth the money? I scrutinize about this. Maybe too much sometimes, but when I get something in my head that I'm gonna pay it off, like the car, I was like tunnel vision, single-minded, everything I could to get that, and I handed over a check for $20,000 to pay off the car. You guys, I worked my butt off. You guys know this if you've seen my videos. I did a part 1 and a part 2 on how I did that. 1 was how I decreased my expenses. 2 was how I increased my income. So those are the 2 ways you can do it, right? Either increase your income or decrease your expenses. I did both to get there. And now thinking forward about paying this house off early, it lights a little fire under my butt. And I'm not going full force, but I'm thinking if I'm starting with 100, can I now push to 200? Can I make that happen? And if I did, it would double the amount of time that would be shaved off in the end. And that's intriguing to me. What about you? Have you paid off your home? Are you trying to pay it off early? What was the method or methods you're using currently to pay off your home early? I'm dying to know. Please leave it in the comments so we can read through them and see what's working for everyone in the K Squad. Buying a house is no joke, my friends. It's a very big purchase that requires or should require. In this case, I will say should require a lot of thought, a lot of pre-planning. Please watch my video on the tip that no one talks about when buying a new home, and that is creating the faux budget and obsessing about it a little bit to make sure that you can afford a home before you dive into it. There's nothing worse than being house poor. You have this great home and you have money for nothing else and you're just barely able to pay for the house. I don't want you to get in that situation. Please watch my playlist on everything related to buying a new house. I will leave it in the description so you can click through those. I think they'll be really helpful, especially for first-time home buyers. Also, there's a live video of when I first moved in, and I watch it once in a while and I actually cry when I watch it because I was so proud. And you guys actually all came in on a live to celebrate with me. And it was seriously, even when I watch it now, it's so emotional to me. Buying this house, especially those of you that knew what I was going through when I was renting, it changed everything. If you're interested in any of that, please click on the playlist to get all the details. Opportunity cost is a thing and things to consider. Is it more important that I pay off this or pay off that? These are all things you have to consider and run numbers and do the simple math that it takes to know what is the best decision for you and your family. Take the time to look through it. Take the time to really be intentional and get the best results you possibly can. This is your life. You can do this, and I'm here to support you. If you have questions, please leave comments down below and ask away. Again, I'm a new home buyer and I want to share my experience with you and be as helpful as I can, but I only know what I know. So I'm happy to share the information that I have and offer you guidance on what I've experienced. I hope this video was super helpful for you. I appreciate you being here. If you are new to the channel, please hit subscribe for more videos like this. Hit the bell so you're notified each time I upload. I've been uploading a lot more. I always upload at least once a week, but now I'm 2 to 3 times a week plus the live on Sundays. So if you like this kind of content, please join the family affectionately known as the K Squad. We welcome you with open arms. Thank you for watching this episode of Pajama Drama. We'll see you next week. Bye.